Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here at Lance's Performance Shop, Lone Star Mopars, and we have got yet another showcase coming up. Right here, dropping into the scene quite fittingly, it is a drop light. This is very simple, not complex at all, but it is a little bit more modern than they're used to. If you got some old stuff, some hand-me-downs, if you work in an old shop, probably got something real similar to this, but you've got an incandescent bulb in it, and the cage might not be as good, or it might be gone. It'll work decent. The problem is that bulb's going to get hot, and it will either singe you, not too bad, but it can be annoying. And the other thing it will do is burn carpet, and that is super annoying. You'll not really notice it until you smell it most often. So, step up from this is a cold cathode light. We've got like little fluorescent ones. I've got one in the shop. I actually thought it was dead. And that's one of the reasons I bought this. I plugged it in a couple nights ago and found out that it actually came on. So that's sort of unfortunate, but I do believe this will be an upgrade. And what this is, it is from Summit Racing. This actually, if you look at this, it's clearly Econoline products at att.net. So it's probably a small business, I would assume. Super white LED light, rugged white light. It is a 25-foot cord, 360-degree ratcheting and locking hook. Oh, okay. So that's actually pretty cool. Not only does this swivel, but the way it's going to not be super annoying, constantly swiveling, is it's sort of got like little cam indexes here on the plastic. Once again, it's the new camera, bear with me. But as you can kind of see there, as I turn it, it sort of bumps up and then sort of locks back into place. That's actually a pretty cool feature. I wasn't aware of until we read that. It is going to be a 3-prong receptacle, and it's going to put out more light than a 100-watt bulb. 750 lumens, 5500 Kelvin. That's going to be pretty white, which I think that's fine for a drop light. We don't need it to look super cool. Here's the 25-foot cord. It's actually fairly flexible, which is nice. Nothing too fancy there on the business end. There's the handle. It's fairly comfortable. It is, again, my apologies, got tight quarters here. We've got the switch on this side. Obviously, you can turn it on and off. And then, of course, if you've got an additional accessory, maybe you're soldering under the dash, something along those lines, you can actually plug that in. Your phone's dying, you can have it charging in close by. So it's a pretty nice piece. Again, the part number from Summit, it is SUM-902020, so 902020. The price is $39.99. Now, some of you might see that and you're thinking, oh, that's going to be a pain in the ass. I can't go buy that at Walmart when it burns out. That is correct. You can't. But it's actually very similar to a bulb. If we can get that to focus. Like I said, I am slowly going to be learning this new camera, and that's not working out too good. But I think you can kind of get the gist of it. It is available, and it is $19.99. So that's not a bad price. When you look at this being $39 for the complete unit, we can come in, and when and if this LED burns out, we can pick that up. I actually would recommend buying one when you pick this up. However, if you hear that, it's an ice cream truck outside. It wasn't me saying hello. But, if you like what you see here in this video, my advice is to pick up the replacement bulb just so you have it. You never know when things are going to get phased out or go out of business or become a problem. So what I wanted to do is test this out. I brought in a lot of work lights, drop lights, trouble lights to kind of sort them out. And we're going to need them and use them all, I believe. But as soon as I can confirm that I like this and I'm happy with it, I will be throwing down on my next order, pick up the replacement bulb, and just kind of have it. So what I need to do is plug this thing in and showcase it to you, and then you can kind of draw your own conclusions. So we'll see what we can. We could either spend about 3 minutes unraveling all that, or we can make use of these channel locks. Snip one, snip two. Problem solved. Alright, so we got that taken care of. We got the cords cut. Let me tell you, it is very nice to have a new flexible extension cord, but that's built into this one. So we got the 25 feet. That's a pretty big deal. Now what we're going to do is turn this on. It might blind you for a moment. Boom. That's a lot of light. You can see the structure of the LEDs there. Now the better test for you is when we spin that around and flip it at the workbench. So we're shining that at a rally gauge cluster. We got the channels. We got Holley temp sensors. We got needle and seats over here. You can't really see much. There's a blue cheap flashlight over there. But check this out. This thing is built very, very well. It's got a full cage. The LED is not going to get hot like an incandescent. The way that it plays off the camera there kind of gives you an idea of the intensity of the lumens. And this is a pure white light. I'm not sure Let's see. Shop lights are fluorescent, so it's kind of got the yellow to it. Now pay attention to the blue of the Mopar and the channel locks as we bump a tripod because we're tight quarters. Do you see the change in the color? It's very subtle, but that's because this is putting out white light. Some people like that, some people don't. I think it's great, particularly for work lights. So we're going to set... I can't wait to have this clean. We're going to set this down. There's absolutely zero heat on this thing. I'm not burning myself. I'm not going to singe carpet. Zero problems. Now, if you're like me, and maybe you didn't ever pick up, I'll be honest, the traditional incandescent drop lights, that's when I was a little kid. And so my work light outside of my cell phone, which has taken the place of this one, to be honest with you, has been this guy right here. And as you can see, it's been through a lot. We've painted brake calipers. We've done a lot of paint on the duster. It's dirty. We did the trunk floor and the charger with this guy. It also featured the auxiliary plug, which was a nice touch for reasons already stated. The problem is, if you see this glass, the plastic tube is not glass, it's got some stuff on it. It's not just paint, and that's because this thing gets super hot. It's also, if you saw how quickly this came on, and it's event free basically, you press the button, it clicks and it's on. Get ready for this. Here's the rocker switch, which I do kind of like better than that push style, but that's just personal preference. Did I do anything? Oh, I did. So, can't deny, this puts out okay light. It buzzes, it hums, that drives some people crazy. I think it's on its last legs. I honestly did think it was dead, or I probably wouldn't have bought this one at this point in time. This will get hot. It's not as bad as the incandescent style, but it will get hot. At least we don't have glass shattering. Problem on this, all the connections are loose. You can see, if I turn this off, you can see that a little easier. There's just a tiny, tiny Phillips screw, and you can tell that that's wobbling. These are just little tightened down, sort of knurled screws you can adjust on your own. This is a superior design and construction. The other downside to this guy, and this is going to be similar, like I said, to what a lot of you have, it's got a 3-foot cord, which what that means is you've got to come in, and where this guy you could plug into an outlet and go straight into your car, if you're using this or a similar designed inexpensive light, you're going to have to plug this guy and his black cord into a 25-foot extension cord. That's probably what most people have laying around. Then go to the outlet. So you've got two connections. Oftentimes then, if you're in, say, under the dash, I can't tell you how many times this has happened, I pivot, you're rolled over, seats are draped out of the rocker over the chair, your head's up under the dash, your back's bent awkwardly on the transmission tunnel. You need the light to go over here, you tug it, and what happens? The extension cord comes disconnected from the lights plug. It sucks, it happens. With a 25-foot cord here, you're going to have a lot less of that to worry about. Similarly, if you do have to go a greater distance, if you just have this one light and you have one cord you typically use, you're going to have 50 feet, whereas with this you'd be sitting at 28. So, like I said, that's sort of my take on it, my justification for purchasing it, and in part because I really did think this thing was dead. The last time I used it, I don't think it came on. But like I said, it's still alive, so we'll continue to use it. I just have a feeling I'm going to prefer this one. So if I'm doing something that I know is going to be dirty and nasty, I might use this just to save that one for cleaner jobs for a little while. But if we can confirm that we're impressed with this one, I will be going ahead and picking up that replacement piece. I want to say when I bought that old one, which that was 15, 20 years ago, it was probably 19 or 29 bucks. This is 39. But it's really, really good construction. I mean, I'm putting down pretty heavy pressure on that. The bottom line, you can drop this. You're not going to do any damage. This locking cam mechanism, it may wear out over time, but truth be told, you're not going to be adjusting it a whole lot. And it's nice. It does have the rubber tip on the hook. And the other thing I wanted to point out, the back side of the product tag. Tout some of the features is a 30,000 hour LED chip life. So, again, bear with me, it's a new camera. When are we going to be replacing that thing? Probably not for a long time. That is actually, though, another reason to favor purchasing the backup bulb now. if this thing lasts you 15, 20 years, there's a good chance this company could be gone. They've moved on to a new technology. LEDs are evolving rapidly, so while this might be somewhat cutting edge right now, they're probably going to change their product in the next 5, 10 years, and this might be obsolete or harder to come by. Prices could come down, but my advice, if you like it, buy it now, stow it away. Be that guy that's rocking an old work light, here 20 years in the future. It has got a wide beam spread, super white light, which hopefully that showcased well for you. No glass to shatter, that's huge. No filament to break, that'd be your incandescence. No heat, no burn. Once again, if you do a lot of stuff with a drop light, you will definitely be able to relate. It's going to use a little less power, I imagine. They say only 8 watts. Rubber safety washer included. Quite sure what that would be. But, we'll take their word for it. 3-prong receptacle, and again, a 25-foot cord. So that is pretty cool. If you want to go straight through Econoline, or maybe you buy from them anyway, part number WL300R, Econoline products at att.net. I would assume it's a wholesale type of a deal, since they don't have a website listed. But, as I mentioned, I picked it up from Summit. It was $39. The replacement bulb is going to be $19. I think we're going to be pretty happy with this guy. So, as I mentioned, though, I brought in a lot of work lights, and we're going to take a look at all of them, and then you can kind of compare and contrast. We'll set up a video here at the end. So, if you wanted to see this with the light out, we might do that when we compare all of these lights I brought in. And my goal is, I think I could use them all, but some of them were inexpensive. I kind of wanted to know, and it's a deal where if I showcase, say, 5 or 6 drop light options, if somebody's on the fence doing research, you can come and say, that's what I want, or hey, this work light over here is going to work best for me on the go. Saves you time, saves you trouble, saves you money. We've done the work for you. I do plan to use this. I think it'll come in handy. And like I said, stay tuned, because we're going to be taking a look at quite a few others. So we shall be back, and I hope I will see you there. LoneStarMopars.com. Make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe. Help us fight the system here on YouTube that's stacked against us. You can also make sure you follow along on Twitter. You can like the Facebook page. We might be doing something on Instagram soon. And we got a lot more coming your way. LoneStarMopars.com.